What's crack-a-lackin'? Back at it again, to the moon. Actually, this time we're on the moon because that's where my boy here, Jonah, lives. What's up, bro?
What's up, dude? I love this. I've been itching to get on this for a while.
You look snazzy. You're all sharp. Did you get all trimmed up and clipped up for this?
Oh yeah, dude. For the podcast? Of course,
Bro!
dude. I had to trim the beard, wear all the Astro swag.
I got my...
You know how it is. That was the best commercial I've ever seen for like anything.
Thank you.
I just want you to know that. That was absolutely hilarious.
So, for those of you that are not familiar with this very special man that's on this episode, Jonah is like none other, because when I first took over Astro, Jonah was brand new. I'm gonna preface this with a story because it's important to tell. So Jonah was brand new into the program and you know, just getting his bearings, but struggling. He was struggling and he was going through it. He was having a hard time putting it all together. And in our time together, I've watched this man go from struggling, having a hard time, really just trying to wrap his head around things, to like meteoric, explosive growth. This guy is crushing it. Jonah, this podcast is all about you, so I don't want to say too much. We want to know you. We want to get to know you. I want people to really understand just the heart that you have and how amazing of a real estate investor you are. Jonah, welcome to the show, bro.
Thanks, dude. I'm excited to be here. It feels good. Also, one of the reasons why I chose this date is it's a little bit later. It's like a week after I joined the program, a year from today. I joined like April 7th-ish, I think, or something like that.
Happy anniversary.
Thanks, man. It's been a pleasure.
Happy Astro Flippers. I don't know. I can
Astro University. Yeah, something
happy
like
Astroversary. Man, dude, I'm just so proud of you. You're, one of our student mentors now. You've actually done a lot to help so many new Astro Flippers out. But let's just begin with the story of what brought you to this niche of wholesale real estate, because this is a crazy corner of the internet, crazy corner of the real estate world that we live in. It's like this one little tiny niche. And so first, explain to people where we found you, like how did you even get involved in wholesale real estate, and we'll go from there.
100%. So I started knowing about real estate since the first time I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, like I feel like everybody else, but that was like a long time ago. I was kind of in a weird transition period about a year and a half ago where I didn't really know what I was doing with my life at all. I had just come back from the Peace Corps, which was cool. But it was like, okay, what do I want to do now? I've had this entrepreneurial side to me, but I need the right type of business because I know myself pretty well, and I'm not trying to create a new product. I'm not trying to create like a MacBook or something like that. I've been interested in the stock market, learned about that. Issue with that is to make money in the stock market, you gotta have a lot of money. And so I just went to, right before the pandemic, basically, I went to a few real estate meetups and then just started asking people so how do you get into this business without any money? And consistently wholesaling came up. And when I heard the concept, I was like, this is perfect. This fits me perfectly. There's no inventory. You're not creating a product. Everybody wants real estate. You're just flipping a contract. And I know I'm really good with people. So I was like, this is it. This is what I'm just going to shoot for and go for it. Started the classic way, listening to Max Maxwell and all that, doing act stuff. And then I saw a YouTube commercial with Josiah in it being like, okay, here's the regular way of doing it, get a contract, buyer, yada, yada. And then he just kind of leaves it with a cliffhanger, but what if we just make this way easier and you don't have to pay anything? And I'm like, okay, well, that attracts my attention because I didn't have any money. I probably had $3,000 to my name. And so I was going into credit card debt, trying to do marketing. I wasn't doing like super expensive marketing. It was cold calling and texting, but still, you know, that costs money
it
still.
can add up. That adds up
Yeah.
fast.
So, I mean, I'm going into credit card debt and I'm kind of like, okay, that would be cool. Let me at least hear it out. And then I get like the rundown from, I forget who right now, but whoever like originally I was talking to. I was like, okay, I don't know. I don't know if they're legit or not, but I'm just going to take a risk. This whole thing's a risk. And then I started doing week one. I'm like, oh, this is perfect. Like, I didn't even need to get into the course. I'm like, week one just shows me this is legit. Like, I feel a lot better about buying it. Cause at first I was like, I'm going to more credit card debt for this course. And what am I doing? But it obviously ended up working out and I haven't looked back since. So it's kind of how I got into it.
So funny that you bring up week one, right? Because it's one that people tend to skip over, or, you know, they go back to it once they take it seriously. And for those of you that are new to or aren't students of mine, week one is mindset. And if you know me, my belief is that the way that you think and the way that you feel is directly the result you have in life. I'll say that again. The way you think and the way you feel is directly shown to you in how your life is. So if you've got shitty thoughts and you think shitty, feel shitty things, guess what your life is going to be?
Shitty is the answer.
Right? Like, no joke, right? You have to curate your thoughts and you have to be mindful of those thoughts. And doesn't make you a shitty person to think shitty things or feel shitty things. That's humanity. That's our biology. Our biology is set to keep us alive. It's there to hoard. It's there for, you know, it allows for greed. It allows for vengeance. It allows for so many things that for genetically are useful to keep us alive. But in terms of thriving in life, not very useful, right? Not very useful at all. And really transcending and seeing a higher plane on what it means to be, a successful person. So I appreciate you bringing that up. It's for those of you that that aren't really heavily focusing on your mindset, but you're doing a lot of lead gen and you're not getting anywhere. I can tell you there's probably a reason behind it. So start with here, and the rest will follow. But let's talk about your first deal, because I think I did a backflip when this thing happened, because we were working so hard for your success and really rooting for you in the background. And so tell us about it. What happened?
So my first deal was actually an acquisition one from all that marketing I had done and all of that. It was pretty, it was done very poorly. Let's just say that. I was definitely fumbling the ball at many different places. And I hate to say it, but I learned a lot. Like, I locked it up too high. I kind of needed to renegotiate in the middle of it, which sucked. And I had to figure that out. Like, there was this realtor who was like helping me find a buyer. She said she'd show up with 3 buyers. Literally none of them came. And then I just looked like an idiot in front of the seller. And it was done terribly where I needed to renegotiate it. I found my own buyer and it happened. And it worked out in the end, but it was definitely a struggle trying to figure it all out. And it is so nice that I had you guys to be like asking questions and trying like that deal wouldn't have gone through 100% if I wasn't an Astro. I just would have been like I wouldn't have had any buyers anyway.
Yeah.
Let alone like I can't even imagine what I would have been doing in that deal without like asking questions. I don't know. I don't even remember what I was asking. That was a long time ago. That was it took me 4 months to do it, to get my first deal. So that was
August, maybe?
Yeah, something like that. No, July, I think. But anyways, so it was a struggle for sure. And I was trying to figure out a holdback addendum because it's in California. I'm in NorCal, and any possible chance that the seller stays in the house is a no-no. It's huge. It's really bad. But they needed time to move their stuff out. So I had to figure out a holdback addendum. There was just a lot of complicated stuff that I was like, man, could it just be easier for my first one? But I had you guys, so it definitely helped.
Well, that's a great learning experience. You get into those harder deals right off in your first one, like amazing. It just gets easier from there. So congrats on that. What did you do? What was your first clip? Like, what did you make on your first deal?
It was really small. It was like $10,000. It was
really small, 10,000.
well, I live in the Bay Area. I live in the Bay Area. My average dispo deal is like 30,000 now. I mean, that particular deal was in a really like on the outskirts of the Bay Area. It's almost like in between here. Like I live in San Francisco now, in between San Francisco and Sacramento, really, but it's technically the Bay Area. But it was like a 1-1 condo, 785 square feet. That thing still fixed up is worth like $200,000 in the Bay Area. But anywho, yeah, that was my first clip for sure.
So what's happened since? Tell us a little bit about the journey from that point.
So this is something that I think is interesting, and I think really goes back to the mindset. So that was 4 months, and then believe it or not, when I started really doing well was the beginning of this year. I actually didn't get my second deal until January of this year, but then I've gotten like 8 deals since then. And it was a mix of two things. It was a strategy shift and a mindset shift. And that's what I was about to say when we were talking about mindset. The biggest mindset shift for me that really boosted my business was when I stopped thinking about, to a wholesaler and agent, please send me the deal, and shifted that to, oh, how can I give you something? And maybe you'll give me a deal, but I'm not expecting a deal. I just want to help you. And that's something I do you probably noticed this, this, in the Zoom calls. I'll end, anytime I have a question, I end it with, hey, please hit me up. This is like my number. Please, if you have any questions or any deals, let me know. Half of my revenue has been from those Zoom calls, Jamil, and helping out other astro flipping students.
Amazing.
That's literally it. Like half of my revenue this year was just from me going on those Zoom calls, somebody hitting me up and being like, yo, I got this deal. I don't know what to do with it. How do I make it work? And then I walk them through the process because I had all the knowledge about the Bay Area and how this market works and how it's different than Arizona, for instance, and the little things that are different and all that type of stuff. So that giving mindset is everything. And I think it's hard when you're starving to get that, because you're like, okay, but how am I going to eat? Like, that's great, Jonah, about the giving, but I'm starving. But you really got to, whatever it is, and I'll tell you what it was for me, but whatever it is to switch from the starvation mindset to the prosperity mindset, you have to do it, whatever it is. And for me, that, what I say it is it's not even religious faith necessarily, but faith in something. For me, it was faith in kind of I guess it was my own abilities, and that just everything will work out in the end, no matter what happens.
Yeah.
And really trusting that and going through processes to strengthen that. I'm not religious, but that belief, even though there's not necessarily any evidence that you can do it specifically, just having that belief anyways was also another critical thing to develop, I guess. I don't know.
Absolutely.
I forgot the question. I've just been going off.
No, it's real, man. It's a true thing. And I live my life by it, right? That's why I'm constantly doing things where I'm giving to the community. I'm constantly trying to share. This podcast is not just so that people can see astro flipping's amazing. It's because people need to know astro flipping's amazing. No, they really get to reach out to you guys, and you can benefit from helping, even if you're not in our program and you want to reach out to Jonah or anyone else that you've seen on this podcast, do it. Reach out to these guys, they will help you. And so the goal of all of these initiatives is truly to spread the word of giving and connectivity and being a useful resource for people out there. And when you shift the mindset to being a giver versus being a taker, guess what happens? You live in a world with other givers. You attract other givers, and the world gives back to you, because there is no such thing as not receiving for giving, right? You just don't get it from the same place. So I give to Jonah, that doesn't mean Jonah has to give back to me. I'm given to somewhere else, right? And that's the law of reciprocity. The universe will be out of balance if it doesn't find a way to reward you for being helpful and being kind and being genuine and being generous. And so
Yep.
these are attitudes that aren't taught in entrepreneurship, mainly because we follow influencers that tell us, get out there and make it happen, and don't sleep. And if you work a 9 to 5, what are you doing from 5 to 9? It's like, get out of here, man. People have lives, people have wives, people have families, people have things, and like, it's that whole, kill what you eat, Wolf of Wall Street mentality, which truly disgusts me, because I don't think that's the way that the world truly works. I think that you can surely make money that way with that heart, but you'll be alone.
Yeah. And just going off of that also, I started making way more money when I took Sundays off. I just started making way more money. I don't know. Like, I mean, we could get into a logical thing. Maybe I'm more rested. Maybe I'm enjoying myself more. But to me, it just felt like, why is all this money coming to me now? Like, because of that. Like I still work hard on the weekdays and Saturdays, but like just having that one day, I was like, damn, that's crazy that just helped, that I just stopped being like, hustle is the most important thing. Hustle is important, but mindset's way more important, like we always talk about.
Yep. And it's incredible, man. Like you've since January, you've banged out 8 deals. Your average deal is 30 grand. I mean, bro, there's not doctors out there who do that well in life. I'm serious, because I know a lot of doctors. It's it's an Indian thing. So right. I've got a lot in my family, and I know all about their finances, and it's true. I mean, we do a lot better than people that have been to school for like 8 years, 16 years. Right. Specialized medical doctors can't create the income opportunities that we get in wholesale real estate. And I think that's such an important thing for us to share. And reason why you're so special to me, Jonah, is because you're such a giving person. Like the day that Jonah, like I can be a testimony to this, because he could be going through something and a deal could be falling apart, and he might be struggling in a situation or something's going wrong, yet he will always offer to help somebody in the same breath. Yes, I'm going through it, but what are you doing what are you going through that I can help you with? I would love to at least be able to add to your life, to add to your business right now. That is not an easy way to be, but it's a beautiful way to be, and it's rewarded, and it's rewarded through opportunity and through blessings and more connections and more relationships. Now let's talk a little bit about relationships, because you're a master at it. You have done really, really well with creating new relationships, generating opportunities through that, attracting people, being magnetic. What do you think your key process, or the thing that you do best with respect to attracting relationships and making people want to work with you?
Honestly, I think it's the same thing. I think it's I think it's the giving, and just being like, it's a mix. I mean, I guess I can go more into that, but that's really it. And listening is good. But I think really, again, it's the giving. It's like just going through that again. I mean, it's like, it's really interesting, just getting a little strategical with it. I've only done one non-exclusive deal. All of my deals are either exclusive through an agent, exclusive through a wholesaler, or direct to seller, which is, I just think that's interesting in the sense that that's different than your model, right? Like I've just noticed that, like, I kind of double down on those relationships where I can tell the person needs help. Like, my business strategy is my mindset strategy. Like, I see you're struggling. Let me help you. I can help you close that deal. I'll talk to the seller for you. I will comp it with you. We'll do like a Zoom call. I go like as far as I can with the person, to an extent, I guess. I mean, it sometimes depends, because sometimes the person I can tell is not that serious, which is a difference, and that can be a whole nother conversation. But if I can tell the person's trying, then I like just fully go into it with them, and eventually it turns into money, almost always, if they're serious and want to do it. Or it doesn't, but like also sometimes it doesn't, and you got to be okay with that, and just be happy that you gave to somebody else some free information, whatever it may be. And Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to think if there's anything else other than that. I mean, it's just that. I feel like that's the big one, is just give as much as you possibly can, and the more you give, naturally the more you get, and be honestly okay with getting absolutely nothing in return. Like,
That's
be
it. It's
okay.
releasing the expectation for a result. That I teach that
Right.
a lot. Like give, work, 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 and stop thinking you're entitled to the result.
Right.
You're entitled to the work, not entitled to the result. And remember
Right.
that all the time, because that is what is truth. That is a true axiom of this planet we live on, and we are all here to work, and
100%.
results will happen, but we are all here to work. And
Yeah.
we are all here to give. We're all here to connect. We're all here to be a part of this society. And it's not our job to expect a result for that work. It's not.
Right.
And
Right.
if you are in that mindset of I work, I get, I work, I get, then have a job.
Right.
Have a
And
job.
even then, you're not going to do that well in your job. Like, you will, but you'll get paid, but you could get paid so much more even with a job if you had that. You'll
Correct.
naturally get promoted. It'll
Correct.
just happen. I guess another thing, back to your question also, is I love saying, I literally thought about this the other day, of just like how much like this one phrase can mean to a human being. It's just literally like, I appreciate you so much for doing X, whatever it is. Like Jamil, I appreciate you so much for giving me so much support and so much training, and like constantly keeping my head above water even when I'm like definitely drowning. And like, I mean, I hope that made your heart fuzzy. I think it makes everyone's heart fuzzy, no
It
matter who
does.
it is. I'll
We all
say,
want to
I'll
be
do it like,
appreciated.
I'll do it like on an initial outreach. Like, an agent sends me one deal, like one deal on the MLS that's garbage. I will still say, hey, this one doesn't work for me, but I appreciate you so much for sending that to me. It really means a lot. That just right there, that like one sentence, even if they haven't really done anything for you, because I feel like that's something we're missing in society a lot of times, is like everybody just wants to be appreciated, and people are starving for it. And it's just so simple. It's a sentence.
It's a
I
sentence,
think
and
it's
and when
crazy.
when it applied correctly and felt genuinely, it truly binds the world. Gratitude binds the world. Appreciation binds the world. You know, and we can all be more grateful. We can all be more appreciative for the people in our lives and the things that they do and the things that they don't have to do, that they do anyways.
Right.
And that's just so important, right? And I appreciate you, Jonah. I appreciate you so much for
Thanks,
sticking
bro.
through it, for being helpful, for being a guide for others in the community, for always putting your hand out even when you didn't have anything in your hand to give.
Hmm.
You were always there, being supportive and being genuine with that support, and your love for other people is incredible. You're a
Yeah.
really genuine guy, somebody
Thanks,
that
man.
someone that not only is an amazing mentee, but like I consider you a very good friend.
Thanks,
Like
bro.
you're my bro. And that's because you're the kind of guy I vibe with. We I feel like we're cut from the same cloth. And for all of you watching, you want to be more like Jonah. You want to be the kind of person that genuinely cares. You guys saw that he came from the wide blue ocean of entrepreneurship. He really was like looking at stocks, other internet things. It's not like real estate was his like
I was
passion,
scalping tickets. I
right?
was I was going to garage sales and like
Right?
trying to flip that stuff. Like,
He
I was
was
doing a
watching
lot of random.
Storage Wars, figuring out how he can buy storage lockers and flip those. Like he was legitimately doing everything he could to figure out what his niche was for to be in business for himself. And real estate, wholesale real estate, is what ended up finding him. And it's beautiful. And I think that everybody should reach out to Jonah. If you have deals in the Bay Area, Northern California, Sacramento, Oakland, San Francisco, anywhere in the Bay, anywhere in NorCal, reach out to Jonah. Jonah, how do people find you?
So I was about to just give out my phone number. Honestly,
Do
I'm
it.
okay with it. I don't know if there's anywhere to put it in the chat, or I don't know how that works, but it's 510-726-8684. Just text that number. That's the easiest way to reach me. Reach out to me even if you're not in this market. I mean, this market, I'll be the most helpful to you because I got it like that. Like I will be helpful in other markets, but I might screw up a little bit. I think like just a funny story. Like I kind of just didn't know. I forgot what it was. It was like somewhere in Virginia, and there's like a difference between like a brick house and like a stucco house is like a huge difference there or something like that. That's not, there are no brick houses in San Francisco.
Right.
If there's an earthquake and there's a brick house, it would immediately fall over. Like that,
Yep.
just having a brick house is not good. And
Yep.
but anyways, but the point is, hit me up. I don't care what market you're in. I'll help you. I'll find a way to like make it where I can give some good tips on comping or like my strategy and how I do it, or whatever. Just hit me up if you just need some mindset stuff. I like taking 30 minutes out of my day and being like, here's what I think you're doing wrong. I'm just a guy, but this is my experience. This is what I think would help you. And yeah, so.
You know what? The title of this video is Jonah wants you to call him and then your phone number. I'm not kidding. Emily, you're watching this right now. That's the title.
Jonah wants you to call him.
Jonah wants you to call him. This is his phone number. And you better be ready for your phone to ring.
Yeah,
bro.
I don't know if I'm gonna regret it or not, but
well,
either way.
If you have to change the title, let me know later on.
No, hit me up. Screw it. Hit me up. Text me too. I mean, I'm better with text than I am with phone calls. Just because I'm probably going to be doing something, but either way, 100% do it. And also come out to California. This is something I just want to talk about if it's okay.
Of course.
California is dope, and I don't know why so many people say it's super hard to wholesale real estate out here. I kind of want to dispel this myth because to me, it just means you get bigger checks. Like,
you know what it is? America's mad at California right now.
Yeah, that's true.
And for like crazy reasons, right? Like it used to be like I lived in LA. I was born in LA, and you know, so even though I grew up in Canada, if I told people, because I moved from Los Angeles to Arizona, when I moved from LA to Arizona in 2012, and I told people in Arizona, they'd be like, "Where are you from?" And I'm like, "I'm from LA." You know what they'd be like? "Oh, he's so cool. You're so cool. You're from Los Angeles. It's so cool there. I love the ocean. I love it." Now you say to people, I'm from LA. They're like, "Get out. Leave. Why are you here with all your money and you're making real estate so expensive and our freeways are going to have people living on them because of you." Like, it's just stupid. Everyone's mad at California right now and it's dumb.
Yeah.
California is the best place, and I think everybody should go there. So
100%.
Definitely check out Jonah. Jonah, I can't believe how long it's been already. Like talking to you was the easiest interview I've had. Nice. Everybody reach out to Jonah. Jonah, thank you so much for being a guest on here. You are loved. You are appreciated. And I just can't wait to see how far you get. I guess you're on the moon now. Next is Mars, baby.
Yeah, we need to get to Pluto, dude. Like, we got to keep going straight up. And also, by the way, once the pandemic's over, I'm getting like a trip to Arizona, taking you, Pace, and Josiah out to lunch just for all, like, you three have done a lot for me. Like, you were there. I know we probably don't have time, but you were there when I was like struggling. Josiah was there when I was like, so what's an option? I don't get this. Like, just way too basic. But anyways, if you need to end the podcast.
No, it's good. But we can't end this without your signature goodbye. So.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I kind of did it, but basically, like, just hit me up, please. Like, do it again. Like, again, my number is 510-726-8684. Like, text that number. Hit me up. I want to help you. It's my entire business. I consider it now is just mentoring wholesalers and then us splitting the deal 50-50 for that mentorship. That's like really my revenue mechanism more than anything else, is just the knowledge you gave me that I can help other people with in order to help themselves, which is a great feeling. I love it.
Amazing. Jonah, we love you so much.
Love you too, bro.
Thank you, bro. All right.